Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah. Namo Pankajanabhaya Namo Pankajamaline Namo Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangri. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dīnabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Gnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hare Krishna. So, what's the topic for today's class? Actually, yesterday I gave a class for GBC SPT, and they had asked me to speak on Pūtanā, killing of Pūtanā, Krishna Leela. And also, as a part of the Damodar Vrata Sadhana, every day we are reading one chapter from Krishna Leela. And we have now come to the chapter of Pūtanā. So, Pūtanā is very much on my mind. So, I thought today also I'll be speaking on the pastime of killing of Pūtanā. So, this is from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, chapter 6, canto 10. And it's a short Leela. There are around 44 verses. So I'll be simply like reading and then reading the translation, and then we'll pause and speak something, and we'll try to cover up the whole Leela within an hour or so. So this is very, very special Leela because indirectly Pūtanā is responsible for making Sukadev Goswami a devotee. How? Because he was impersonalist, and somehow this particular pastime of Pūtanā and this particular verse explaining the pastime of Pūtanā has made a great impact on Sukadev Goswami. So the story in short is like this from the Ananda Vrindavan Champu, that how Radharani had this parrot called Sukha, and it was Radharani's favorite parrot, and how Radharani used to ask the parrot, Bolo Krishna, come on, say Krishna. And whenever the parrot used to say Krishna, Radharani used to give some pomegranate seeds to the parrot. And because the parrot was constantly chanting Krishna's name, the parrot once decided to pay a visit to Krishna. So, because he's so mesmerized, he wants to see who is this Krishna. And then when he goes and sees Krishna, and then he suddenly realizes, but am I not cheating, because my mistress is Radharani? What am I doing with Krishna? So he again goes back to Radharani. So like that he was very much attached, the parrot was very much attached to Radharani. And finally when Lord Krishna and Radharani decide to go back to Goloka, to the Nija Dham, and at that time the parrot wants to come back. But Radharani says, no, you stay here, and wherever my katha is going on, you will have this privilege to hear. So the Sukha parrot is all the time looking, where is katha going on? And one day Sukha lands in Kailash, and there this katha is going on where Lord Shiva is telling this beautiful pastimes to Mother Parvati, who falls asleep. But Sukha wanted to hear the pastime, so he imitates Parvati's voice saying, okay, I'm hearing. And finally, when Lord Shiva opens his eyes at the end of the katha, he realizes that Parvati is sleeping and it is this parrot who's been hearing, and Lord Shiva decides to kill the parrot because he thinks it's not qualified and he may misinterpret or take an advantage of this gnana, this knowledge of Bhagavatam that he has got, and he's now chasing the parrot, and the parrot ends up going to Badrika ashram, and there Vyasadeva is narrating beautiful pastimes to his wife Bitika, and while she is hearing the pastime, she's yawning, and when she yawns, she has this mouth all all open, and this parrot at that moment, because it has to hide from Lord Shiva, enters inside Bitika's mouth, gives up the body, and now takes a form of a shishu, of a baby in the womb of Bitika. So now babies, usually mother delivers baby within 9 months, but Sukadeva Goswami stays there for 16 years, and then Vyasadeva Muni is asking him to come out. How long do you want to stay inside the womb? And he says, I don't want to come out because I'm worried that I'll be attacked by Maya. And Vyasadeva says, I'm promising you. And Sukadeva Goswami from inside the womb says, no, not your promise. I want the promise of Krishna, who is the creator of Maya. And then Vyasadeva goes to Dwarka, brings Krishna along, and then Krishna promises, okay, you come out, Maya won't attack you. And then finally Sukadeva Goswami comes out, and the moment he comes out, after 16 whole years, he's not interested to even look at his parents, he's simply walking inside the deep dense forest. And Sukadeva Goswami's father, Vyasadeva, is calling out, Putra, but he doesn't listen. And then Vyasadeva makes a plan how he sends 2 of his disciples dressed as woodcutters, and while they are cutting the wood, they recite 2 verses from Bhagavatam. One is from the 10th canto of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, explaining the beauty of the Lord, and the second verse is from the 3rd canto of Bhagavatam, which was recited by Uddhav, where not the beauty but the nature of the Lord is explained, that Aho bakiyam sthanakalakutam jiggam siyayadapi asadvi lebhe gatim dhatri uchitam tatonya kamva dayalu sharanam vrajema. Says that who can be so merciful? Somebody has come to give poison to kill, but still Krishna wants to deliver, and who will not take shelter of such a merciful Lord? And when Sukadeva Goswami hears this particular sloka, this particular verse, and he just falls down at the feet of those woodcutters and say that I want to know more. And then they take him back to Vyasadeva, and so some way or the other, Pūtanā is responsible for for Sukadeva Goswami to become a devotee from being an impersonalist. So this is a very, very special pastime. And also Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his Krishna Samhita explains that how every demon that came in Krishna Leela is a representation of one or the other anarthas that we have in us. And as far as Pūtanā, he explains that Pūtanā is a representation of false guru, mithya guru, because she promises something, but she delivers something else, because her presentation is like that of an affectionate, loving mother, but what she's actually doing is trying to poison the baby. So that means Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that Pūtanā is representing false guru, one who is promising something else but is actually giving something else out. And then he also says that this mithya guru, even our mind is a mithya guru. If our mind is not taking us towards Krishna and it's taking us away from Krishna, then our mind is also a false guru, which is directing us in a wrong way. So without much ado, we will just dive into these verses. Canto 10, chapter 6, verse number 1. Shri Sukha uvacha Nanda pathivacha shaure namrisheti vichintayan harim jagama sharanam utpatagama sankita. So this is a continuation from the previous chapter, because Krishna has been shifted from the prison house in Mathura to Gokul, and there is a big festival in Gokul, and Nanda Maharaj not only gives dana but mana to so many Brahmins. That means he gives lots of charity and he gives lots of respect. As a grihastha, the duty is to give dan and man, to show respect towards the Brahmana and give them charity, and he's done both of it very lavishly because Krishna has appeared in his house. But he was also worried that I may have attracted the attention of Kamsa, because Gokul and Mathura is very close. There's just Yamuna in between, and so much festivity is happening, and definitely Kamsa must be thinking, what's up? What's going on there? Why so many festivities? So just to divert his attention, Nanda Maharaj thinks this is the right time for me to go and pay my taxes. So Nanda Maharaj, he just gets all the bullock carts and then gets them ready, and they're off to Mathura, and there they give the taxes. And in the evening time, very secretly, he meets Vasudev. And when Vasudev meets Nanda Maharaj, he does not bring Devaki along, because the Vaishnava Acharyas comment that Vasudev or Nanda, all these people, they were very well versed with scriptures. So Vasudev, he remembers what happened in the previous yuga, what happened in Ramayana. One lady, Kaikeyi, spoiled the whole show, because the ladies usually can't keep things in mind, and they just blurt out, because that's what had happened with Kaikeyi. When she got this boon from her husband during that war, she shared it with Mantra. Actually, she had such sweet relationship with Dashrath, she never even had a thought of asking any boon from him, but she just shared her joy with Mantra. My husband gave me these 2 boons, but Mantra remembered it, and later on in life she reminded that you have these 2 boons and why don't you ask? So since they know what happened, this whole Ramayana, because of a lady, Vasudev didn't want Devaki to come, and then if she blurts out, because Nanda had no idea that Krishna was their son, because they were all covered by Yoga Maya when Vasudev shifted Krishna from Mathura to Gokul. So then finally, after the conversation is over, Vasudev hints to Nanda that don't wait more time in Mathura, just get going, because there may be something happening there in Gokul, you better be careful. So Nanda is just contemplating in his mind that whenever Vasudev speaks something, he just does not speak anything just like that. He's very calculative, and also because he's a devotee of the Lord, and also because he's so pious and so humble and simple hearted and such a nice personality. Definitely if he has said something, it may be true. I better take him very seriously. The Acharyas say that those who are devotees of the Lord, over a period of time, they develop something called Vakasiddhi. Vakasiddhi is whatever they speak, it comes out to be true. And why does this happen? Because they are always employing their tongues in chanting the Lord's name and glorifying the Lord. So the tongue becomes so empowered that whatever they speak comes out to be true. I'm just reminded of this pastime of Tulsidas, how he was just once taking bath and he comes out, and one lady comes running and falls on his feet, asking for blessing, and very unconsciously he says, Saubhagyavati, okay, you be blessed. And then the other person in the crowd says, but Mahatma ji, she's a widow, and how did you give her, just now her husband died, and how did you give her blessing, Saubhagyavati? And then Tulsidas goes and just looking at the dead body, and the moment Tulsidas is there, the dead body comes to life, because the Lord doesn't want that anything that comes from the mouth of his devotee should be proved wrong. So he gives the life back to that corpse, and the lady is again, happy. So Vasudev, he had also Vak Siddhi. So Nanda Maharaj is thinking, I should better take him very seriously. And then in this verse, there's one very beautiful line where Sukdev Goswami is saying that Nanda Maharaj took shelter at the lotus feet of the Supreme Controller. That means Nanda Maharaj, in the heart of his heart, he's remembering his family deity Narayan, and he's taking shelter of Narayan, that Narayan, please take care of my little boy Krishna. And I thought that was also so beautiful. Actually, every pastime of the Lord, when we hear, there are 3 ways of dealing with it. One is the basic level, when we just hear the katha, oh, this is what happened. A demoness came with poison smeared on her breast tried to feed milk to Krishna, but Krishna took away her life air, and that way Krishna delivered her, and there ends the story. But there's another level where we can take some nice take home lessons from the whole pastime happen, and the highest level would be to contemplate and then try to actually apply those lessons in our life. So today we'll try to do something like that from each and every verse, like what kind of lessons can we take from that particular verse. And I was thinking the best lesson I was thinking from this verse is where Nanda Maharaj is taking shelter of the Supreme Controller. And I thought that was so beautiful, that no matter what situation arises in our life, we should take shelter of the Lord. And that will happen only if we have been taking shelter of the Lord in every situation. Then even during provocating situations or even during reversals, we'll be easily able to take shelter of the Lord. So I'm just reminded of this Hindi doha. Says, Dukh mein sumiran sab kare, sukh mein kare na koi, jo sukh mein sumiran kare, dukh kahe ko hoy. When we are in problem, we may remember Krishna, but as soon as the problem is over, then we don't remember Krishna. But actually, if we remember Krishna all the time, there will be no problem in our life. Just like when we go on a yatra, the first thing, as soon as the car starts or the train starts or the flight starts, we just start chanting Narsingharti, Namaste, Narsinghaya, all the devotees. But the moment we are done with the yatra and we are getting down the bus, then we are so busy. Where's my luggage? Where's my key? I need to go and get inside the room and fresh. And that time we forget to thank the Lord. So the devotee has to develop the habit of thinking about the Lord constantly in every situation of life. So here we see Nanda Maharaj, he's just taking shelter of his family deity. In fact, this time when I went for Vrindavan just a couple of days, fortnight ago, and we went to this very special place while doing Govardhan Parikrama, where Nanda Maharaj's Narsingha deity, actually Nanda Maharaj had a Narsimha Saligram, and he used to worship Narsingha Saligram every day. And at one time, so loudly from the core of his heart, he called out for Narsingha Dev to protect Krishna, that from that Shaligram came out a self-manifested Narsimha deity. And that temple is there. When you go for Govardhan Parikrama, you can actually go and visit that temple. So Nanda Maharaj just calls out for protecting his little child. And then the second verse, Kamsena prahita ghora Pūtanā balaghatini shishum chachara nignanti pura grama vrajadishu. So now the villainess enters in the story. Here Sukadeva Goswami puts it that okay, so finally Pūtanā, she has arrived as directed, as instructed by Kamsa. She's going in the towns, cities and villages, all the places in search for children to kill the babies. And here the Acharya has explained that how this name Pūtanā itself, what it means. Pūtanā means one who is not pure. Pūtanā also means one who has no good qualities. Pūtanā means the killer of the babies. She had a PhD in killing little babies. And the birds of the same feather flocked together. Even Kamsa was a baby killer, because Kamsa had killed the 6 babies of Mother Devaki, the 6 children. And Pūtanā was also a baby killer. So actually once a devotee was asking that how come Kamsa had such cruel mentality? Was he not the son of Ugrasen, who was such a pure devotee of the Lord? But actually during one of my researches, I came to know that Kamsa was not the son of Ugrasen. Actually Ugrasen's wife Padmavati and Ugrasen, both of them were very good devotees. So once it so happened that Padmavati went to her mother's house. Usually in the few months in a year, the ladies, they go to the mother's house. So she was very pretty, and she was playing with a ball, in a garden in her mother's house. And at that time, a yaksha who was passing by in a plane, his eyes fell on her, and he got immediately attracted instantly. And then he changed his form as Ugrasena, and he went and enjoyed with Padmavati and impregnated her. And then because she is married to Ugrasen, so that child in her womb is called to be Ugrasen's son, but actually it was a son of Yaksha. So these qualities we see in Kamsa. So then this Pūtanā, as directed by Kamsa, has entered, and she's looking for babies. She's looking here and there for little babies. The next verse, Sukadev Goswami is giving some relief to Parikshit Maharaj, because Parikshit Maharaj is so worried. The moment Sukadev Goswami quotes this second verse that Pūtanā has entered and she's now about to, going to kill the babies, Parikshit Maharaj gets so worried. So what will happen to our little Krishna? Of course, he knows that Krishna did survive that, because otherwise how he became the Parthasarthi of his grandfather Arjun. But still he is so immersed inside the Katha that he's actually experiencing everything that's happening inside the Katha. And I thought that was so beautiful, because sometimes as devotees, we hear so much Katha, and sometimes we become a little because when we know the Katha and we know the storyline, we become like, okay, I know this, what's going to happen next, and we become so relaxed. But Parikshit Maharaj here gives us such a nice example that every time that we hear Krishna Katha, we should hear it with same enthusiasm as if we are hearing it for the very first time, because every devotee who tells the Katha is adding his own rasa and his own bhakti into it when he's narrating that same pastime. So swadu swadu pade pade. When we are ready with our recipient ball, we can always pick up something from everywhere. So here he is so much immersed into the Katha, and he makes a very worried face. What will happen to Krishna? And then immediately Sukdev Goswami consoles him by saying, oh, don't worry. Wherever there is Shravanam and Kirtanam, wherever there is, devotees performing Shravanam and Kirtanam, where there is devotional service happening, there can be no danger. So don't worry, don't have any anxiety for Gokul. And I thought that was very wonderful a point for us, all devotees also, that when we take shelter of the holy name, then there is nothing to worry. Of course, okay, this is we know this verse in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, the last canto, the last verse, where it says Nama Sankirtanam Yasya. Nama Sankirtanam, wherever there is Nama Sankirtanam, Sarva Papa Pranashanam. All the sinful activities that we have committed, if we are chanting the holy name of the Lord, it will all be destroyed. And then what we are supposed to do next? Pranamam dukkha shamana stam namami harim param. And then two things we are supposed to do: chanting of the holy name and paying obeisances. When we do namaskaram, then we are relieved from all material sufferings. So chanting removes the sinful reactions, and the paying obeisances removes the material suffering. So these two things has to be done. So here Sukadeva Goswami is confirming that where the chanting happens, there will be no abhadra. Everybody will be happy there. And then the next verse, text 4, the storyline again, gets more intense. So she's been wandering, and with her mystic power, she changed into a beautiful woman, and she's finally entered Gokul, the abode of Nanda Maharaj. Sukadeva Goswami is such an amazing storyteller. So he's just telling in a beautiful way, okay, finally she has entered. So many a times this question comes in mind, that how come Krishna almost all the time decides to kill ladies first? Even in the Rama Avatara, he kills Tadaka first, the first demon that he kills. And even in Krishna Avatara, he kills the Pūtanā first. So the Vaishnava Acharyas, they gave a very good commentary to this. They said the word Gokula here actually has two meanings. One is Gokula. Kula means community. Go means cows. Okay, the community which gives shelter to the cows or is centered around cows. It's okay, one meaning. But the other meaning of go means senses, and Gokula means network of senses. So whenever we try to absorb our mind in Krishna as a sadhaka, practicing devotees, then what is the obstacle that we face in the network of our senses is the attraction towards an opposite gender. That's the first thing that comes in mind and disturbs our spiritual practice. But if somebody stays focused and keeps their mind absorbed in Krishna, then Krishna himself removes that obstacle from a devotee's life. So this is what has happened here. That is why, Krishna first kills Pūtanā, first kills Tadaka. So he's just consoling the devotees, okay, keep your mind focused and I'll remove that obstacle, in your life, which is disturbing the network of your senses when you are in the Gokula, when you are trying to remember me. And I thought that was very beautiful reasoning why Krishna is killing the first obstacle that comes in a sadhaka's life, the attraction towards an opposite gender. So that's very beautiful. And then this whole pastime happens on the 6th day. So that also has a very special significance, because according to the Jyotish Shastra, according to the astrological science, the 6th day in a child's, infant's life is very important, because on the 6th day Brahma comes with Shashti Devi. And they write the future of the child on that day. So that's why you see in all the Hindu households, on the 6th day, they have this special platform they create for Brahma and Shashti Devi to come to their house, and they offer various sweetmeats and garlands, and because Shashti Devi and Brahma are going to come and write the future, the destiny of the child. So Pūtanā thought that on the 6th day I will seal the destiny of this child. I'll just going to kill the child. But on the contrary, what happened? Her destiny got sealed by Krishna. The Vallabhacharya says in his commentary that actually the time when Pūtanā entered into Nanda Gokulam, inside the house of Nanda Maharaj, was very inauspicious time. It was Asleshya Nakshatra and it was a Vishaghati. Ghati means 24 minutes, and that 24 minutes were most inauspicious. There was Mrityu Yoga, and definitely there would have been a death. But here in that case, because she's in her case, because she's dealing with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, she gets killed in that Mrityu Yoga, in that Vishaghati. She gets killed by Krishna. So here Pūtanā has already entered, and in the next verse, verse number 6, Sukadev Goswami goes to large extent to explain the beauty of Pūtanā, how her waist was, and how she was dressed so nicely, and how her hair was, and how she was wearing a garland of mallika flowers, and how there was all flowers scattered over her face, and her earrings were so brilliant. And somebody may wonder, okay, why do you have to explain the beauty of a demoness? I mean, what are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do by meditating on her beauty? So the Acharyas explain is that actually she's just after a few minutes she's going to become a Vaishnavi, because she's come to serve Krishna, and now Krishna is going to suck out the life air and going to give her the position of Dhatri, nurse in Goloka Vrindavan. So she's going to, just now leave for Goloka Vrindavan. So she's going to become a devotee. So that's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has told us, right? We respect not only those who are devotees now, but those who are going to become devotees in future also we're supposed to respect. So Sukadeva Goswami does not want to do injustice to Pūtanā, because just after 2-3 chapters he's going to explain the beauty of Mother Yashoda, how she's wearing a yellow color sari and how she's having those flowers on her head and Malati. And it will be so unfair that Krishna's mother gets so much explanation and the nurse of Krishna in Goloka does not get. So he just wants to be impartial and he wants to explain the beauty of Pūtanā. Whereas the other acharyas, they comment that, well, actually the reason why he's explaining the beauty of Pūtanā is that he just wants us to know that how hypocrite she was. She dressed and she looked what she was not. She presented herself on what she was not. But when finally Krishna touched her, then her real nature came out. Same thing happens with us sadhakas, because we may be having so many masks on our face, but when Krishna comes in our life, then all those masks are removed and then our spiritual journey starts. Because most of us are living 3 lives. There is a public life where people know us as something, and then there is a private life which only our family knows, and then there is a secret life which is only between you and Krishna. But as long as we are living three lives, we can't go forward in our spiritual journey. But the day these three lives get into one, they merge into one, that means whatever we are outside, that's how we are inside, that's how we are privately, that's how we are secretly, then actually our spiritual journey begins. So that happens only when Krishna comes inside our life, and then he removes all the mask. So Putana had all this mask, a beautiful smile, effulgent face, nice earrings, nice beauty. But then when Krishna came in her life, then the original Putana, the original form came out, her real nature came out. So this is how they explain about her. And then there is one beautiful point they make in this verse, and they say nobody stopped her because she was looking so attractive. The Vrajavasis, they thought she's Lakshmi Devi, and some of them they thought no, she's a wife of Indra, and some of them thought no, she may be some Apsara, and some of them thought no, maybe she's the wife of the demigods, and they just come to see Krishna because Krishna is so beautiful. And some of them said no, maybe Lakshmi Devi came looking out for Vishnu and she somehow entered our house. And some said no, maybe the celestial women, she came to feed Krishna so that he can be nourished. So they're all having their own opinions. See, these Vrajavasis were so simple. They cannot think that, oh, she must have come with a plan to kill Krishna, because they themselves are so simple and pure hearted that they can't see bad even in a bad. They can't see evil even in evil. Usually sadhakas like us, we are seeing bad even in good. Even if somebody is so good also, we always try to do some kind of a fault finding. Okay, she's good, but this is problem with her. Okay, he's nice, but the but is always there, and we're trying to find fault. But Vrajvasis are like bees. Just like the bees, even inside a waste box in a dustbin litter, the bee is always looking for flower and takes some nectar and goes away. But we are like those houseflies. Everywhere we are trying to, even in the garden of roses, we are trying to see where is some litter. So the Vrajavasis, they are so simple-hearted and they are so sweet. Even in evil, they can't see evil. They're thinking, oh, she must be some nice lady. She must have come for some good purpose. And there's another beautiful point here where they say that they were so drawn by her beauty, especially the men. And one thing may come into our minds, that Vrajavasis means those whose focus is completely on Krishna, those who are completely absorbed in Krishna. Then how come they got attracted to some materialistic demoness, some lady? Because we appreciate the Vrajavasis for this one thing, that for them except Krishna there is no other attraction in their life. In fact, the word gopi itself means, go means senses and pi means pivati. One who is drinking with all the senses Krishna. They're talking about Krishna, thinking about Krishna, looking at Krishna, hearing about Krishna. So how come they got attracted to somebody else? So the Acharyas comment that it's not like that. This is all the play of Yoga Maya. Because if the Yoga Maya does not play this, then there will be no rasa, there will be no Leela. If they don't get attracted to Putana and they don't allow Putana to come, then how will the Leela happen? Like we see in Ram Leela, Mother Sita, she gets attracted to the deer. And because she gets attracted to the deer, now somebody may question, how come she got attracted to deer when the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Ram, is sitting next to her? But the whole point is because she gets attracted to deer, and then this whole Leela happens, and then Ravan comes and kidnapping, and this whole thing happens. Otherwise, how there will be Leela? If the Sakhas, the boyfriends of Krishna, they don't get attracted to Aghasura and they don't go inside Aghasura's mouth, how will the Leela happen? Mother Yashoda, if she does not get attracted to that milk which was boiling over in her kitchen, how would the Damodar Leela happen? So all this is an arrangement of Yoga Maya, but from the core of their hearts, the Vrajavasis are never attracted to anybody except Krishna. So then finally she's searching. The next verse it says, while searching for small children to kill them, Putana enters the house of Nanda Maharaj. Here there is a little controversy. Srinath Chakravarti, the author of Chaitanya Manjusha, he says actually Putana never killed anybody. She was looking for children to kill. But meanwhile, the first house she entered was Nanda Maharaj's house. She got hold of Krishna and she died. So she has not killed anybody. But Jiva Goswami says in his commentary, actually Putana killed, but she did not kill the children in Vraja. She killed the associate of Kamsa. Their children she killed. Because you see in the first verse it says that Putana entered town, city, village. So everywhere she was searching for infants who were 6 days old. So she also entered into the house of the associates of Kamsa, whose children were also 6 days old, here and there. So she killed them, but she has not killed Vrajavasis. Whereas here again, we see that Prabhupada says that Putana was killing. So this is all a little bit, different acharyas giving a different interpretation and different bhava they have. So Srinath Chakravarti says, no, nobody was killed. The first thing was Putana entered into Nanda Maharaj's house and she was killed. She did not kill other babies. She was looking for them. Where can I kill? That's what he says in his book. So then finally she enters Nanda Maharaj's house. And then nobody stops her because she's so beautiful. Rohini and Jashoda simply mesmerized. And they are thinking very proudly that maybe a celestial woman has come and she's going to feed Krishna and nourish him. So they don't stop her. And finally she takes Krishna in lap. And the moment she takes Krishna in lap, Krishna closes his eyes. And this is also very beautifully explained, the reasons why Krishna closes his eyes. So Jiva Goswami gives 3 reasons, and Baladev Vidyabhushan gives 1 reason, and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives 5 reasons, and Hari Sauriji gives 15 reasons, and we can go on and on. But keeping in mind, I'll just read out few reasons given by the acharyas why Krishna closes his eyes. So one of the reasons is they say Krishna closed his eyes because Krishna is thinking, oh, I just killed Tadaka last time and a woman again. Oh no, I don't want to do this again. So he just closed his eyes. The second reason they say is that Krishna was thinking in his mind that I just left Kshira Sagara and I thought I'll just enjoy some nice butter and curd and milk, but the first thing they're offering me on the 6th day is poison. Oh no. And he just closes his eyes. And the other acharya says that no, actually Krishna is praying to Lord Shiva. He says that last time when after the Samudra Manthan, the churning of ocean, see, ocean is called Payodhara. Payo means water and Dhara means one that holds water. So from Payodhara, when the poison came out, then Lord Shiva had it. This time also the poison has come out from Payodhara, because breast in Sanskrit are also called Payodhara. Payo also means milk. So the breast holds milk. So this time the poison has come out. Maybe this time also Lord Shiva will take it. So he's just praying that, please come and take this poison. And then there are some other acharyas who comment that, well, actually Krishna is thinking in his mind that if I open my eyes and I look at Putana, I may get compassion on her, and then this whole Leela will never happen. Or I may get so angry on her that I may just burn her to ashes, then this Leela will never happen. Or if I look at her, then she'll get purified. Her avidya, her ignorance will go away. And if her ignorance goes away, then this Leela won't happen. She'll not try to kill me, then how there will be rasa. And some say actually Krishna is doing some kind of a negotiation with the jivas, because the chara and the achara jivas inside Krishna's stomach are all panicking. Krishna is going to take poison now, so what will happen to us? So Krishna is just closing his eyes and talking to them. Okay, don't worry, nothing is going to happen. You all will be saved. There is no annihilation happening inside. And then there some other acharyas, you say that Krishna's one eye is sun and the other eye is moon. So the sun and moon are all upset, and they're telling Krishna that we are resigning, because if you're going to deliver just about everybody and anybody, then we don't want to take up this job. How can you do that? She's come to give you poison. Don't you dare deliver her. So Krishna is just talking to them. And then another acharya comments that Krishna is actually thinking that I don't want to see the pain on her face when I actually kill her. That's going to be too painful for me to see. Another acharya says that because Krishna is a father, And father, even when he's punishing the child, he doesn't want to see the child suffering, so he just closed his eyes. And some say, well, it's a natural reaction because he's a little baby. And when the babies are given bitter medicines, what happens when they're given bitter medicines? The natural reaction is to just close their eyes. So Krishna has closed his eyes. What's the big thing? And then some say that because there are 7 mothers, the wife of the king, the wife of guru, and the wife of a brahmana, the cow, the nurse, they're all mothers, 7 mothers. So Pūtanā has come as a mother, as a nurse, and Krishna didn't want to, kill her, by looking right into her face. He just wants to avoid saying that, I don't know, I have not seen you. Otherwise it will be so, bad to kill one of the mothers. And then some other Acharya says, well, it's not Krishna's fault, it is Nimi Maharaj, because Nimi Maharaj is in charge of, our eyelids. He sits on the top of our eyelids and he does the job of closing and opening. So he closed Krishna's eyes. And some say that Krishna purposely did it because he didn't want to let Pūtanā know how strong he is. When he closed his eyes, Pūtanā must have assumed, oh, he's a little boy and in ignorance, he's sleeping, he's just closed his eyes, what can he do? And that way she's, off guard. She just puts her guards down. And then some other acharyas say that Krishna didn't want to see anybody's face except his own mother's face. And especially he doesn't want to look at the face of somebody who's a hypocrite. And somebody says, well, Krishna just wanted to avoid her association because asat sangatyagi Vaishnava acharya. And Krishna wants to be a good Vaishnava, so because that's what Krishna's mother desired, right? In the Gopal Champu, there is this bhajan, which is sang by Yashoda, where she says to Narayan that I want my Krishna should become a good Vaishnava. So Krishna is thinking, if I have to become a good Vaishnava, I can't associate with those who are not Vaishnava, so I better close my eyes. So like that, there's so many reasons. Krishna is just worried that I may just fall in love with her, because Krishna is so compassionate. The moment he sees somebody is coming to give him something, he may just give up his heart and he may decide not to kill, and then the whole Leela will be disturbed. So like that, the acharyas give so many reasons. So finally Krishna closes his eyes. He's on Pūtanā's lap, and then Pūtanā, she starts giving her milk to Krishna. And then what finally Krishna does, he sucks out not only the milk but also Pūtanā's life air, and that's so special. We see this thing only in Krishna Leela, where Krishna does not take any weapons. With his lips he kills Pūtanā, and with his hands he kills Trinavarta, and with his legs he kills Saktasur, and with his mouth he simply swallows the whole forest fire. He doesn't use any weapons because the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in every situation he's all powerful. So finally he just sucks in the life air of Pūtanā. And here in Purport he says that Krishna decided that she should be punished by having to forfeit her life. Actually, Rupa Goswami in his Nataka Chandrika, verse number 249, he says it in very funny way. He says, why did Krishna kill Pūtanā? Because Krishna wanted to take revenge on Pūtanā. He was thinking in his mind that Pūtanā took me away from my mother's breast. I was happily drinking my mother's milk, and she took me away from my mother's breast. So I will take a revenge on Pūtanā, and I will take Pūtanā away from her mother's breast. She will never ever get any breast to drink. That means I'll deliver her in such a way that she doesn't have to have any more breast milk. She doesn't have to enter into anybody's womb. She was instantly delivered. So that was Krishna's revenge, says Rupa Goswami. So then finally Krishna is just sucking her life air out, and Pūtanā understands that something strange is happening. He's not a normal child. So she starts yelling on the top of her voice, Muncha, oh just leave me, what is this, what are you doing, just leave me. And the acharyas comment that it's too late. Once Krishna catches hold of somebody, he does not know how to live. It's not his fault, but he doesn't know. He just knows how to hold. So if you go and offer yourself to Krishna, and that's about it. Now he'll not leave you for the rest of his life. That's what Krishna's nature is. We see in the Ramayana also, when Vibhishan comes and takes shelter of Lord Ram, then Lord Ram says, well, Sakrideva Prapannaya Tava Asmi. Once if somebody says, oh, I'm yours, my Lord, that's it, end of the story. I won't leave him. Even if he says by joke or by force or out of anger or simply out of fun, but if he has said once, then I don't leave him. That's it. So this is what has happened. Now Pūtanā has come and offered, and now Krishna says, I won't leave you. Whereas other Vaishnava Acharya says, well, actually, she says, relieve me, and Krishna says, okay, I'm relieving you from birth, death, old age and disease. From this cycle of birth, death, old age and disease, I'm just delivering you. So what am I doing wrong? Krishna is saying, I'm just doing what you said. Relieve me, you said, and I'm relieving you. So what's wrong? So that's Krishna's swabhava. And the other acharyas argue that Krishna is thinking in his mind that when Pūtanā can't give up her nature, why should I give up my nature? Pūtanā has not given up her nature. She wants to kill me. And my nature is to give protection, to reward somebody who comes to me. So why will I give up my nature? That's how the Lord is, and that's how the Lord's devotees are. I'm just reminded of this story by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He was saying that how there is this one Mahatma who was trying to save a Scorpio. The Scorpio was drowning in the water, and the Mahatma was trying to take out the Scorpio, and put it on the bank. But the Scorpio was biting the Mahatma's hand. But he was again and again trying to save the life. So the other person who was walking from there said, why are you doing that? It's biting you. So then the Mahatma replied that that's the nature of the scorpion. The scorpion is so rigid. He doesn't want to give up his nature of biting me. Why should I give up my nature of saving him? That's my nature. I want to save, and I'll do that. So he just keeps trying to save the scorpion. So that's how Krishna's nature is. He doesn't want to give up his nature. Anybody who approaches Krishna, just Krishna wants to help them. Krishna wants to deliver. And then what to speak about Pūtanā, who was Krishna conscious. Now, why I'm saying that Pūtanā is Krishna conscious, because what does it mean by being Krishna conscious? Krishna conscious means being conscious of Krishna. And Pūtanā was conscious of Krishna, at least at that particular moment. She's thinking only about Krishna, and she's looking only at Krishna, and in her mind only Krishna is there. And she's also hearing about Krishna, because when she's shouting and running with Krishna hanging on her breast, and she's just running out of Nanda Maharaj's house with a hope that if I run in high speed, maybe Krishna will leave me, will leave my breast. So and then all the Vrajavasis are shouting, Kanha, Krishna, where are you taking our Krishna? So she's hearing about Krishna, she's thinking about Krishna, she's looking at Krishna, she's touching Krishna. So what else? She's Krishna conscious. So if she's Krishna conscious, then we know what happens if somebody is Krishna conscious. So that's why she got delivered by Krishna. And the whole point is that the fact that her mind was absorbed about Krishna, and the other beautiful fact that she actually came to give something to Krishna. And that is so beautiful, because Krishna is thinking that everybody wants something from me. That's what happens when I'm in Vaikuntha. Oh, give me dhanam dehi, janam dehi, give me this, give me this, give me that. And here is somebody who has come to give me something. And he's just seeing that part of it, that she has come to give me. What she has come to give me, that's not important. But the fact that she has come to give me something. And that's making Krishna so happy. So I thought that was such a beautiful point, that when we come and stand in front of the Vigrahas, our bhava should be that I want to give something to Krishna. But the whole bhava is, if I want something from Krishna, I want something, that doesn't make that big impact. But if I want to give something to Krishna, then Krishna gives himself away to that person. So here Krishna is just bothered about her presentation. He's not bothered about her intention. Her intention was to kill. But Krishna says, I don't care about the intention. What is her presentation? She came as a mother to give me something, and I'm happy. And the devotees may argue with Krishna, oh, so are you going to stick to this point? You said that for you, intention is not important, presentation is important. Then let us remind you, Krishna, that what happened when Vidura's wife, she gave you the banana skins. She did not give you banana. So her presentation was, so poor. Then Krishna says, but her intention was nice. But then Krishna, you just now said that for you intention is not important, presentation. Then Krishna says, no. For me intention is important. What's your intention? Presentation, it does not matter what you have presented. So then we may argue, oh, is it Krishna? Then you better stick to that. Then what about Ajamila? Ajamila's intention was not thinking about you. Only he said Narayan, but he never meant to call you. He was thinking about his son Narayan. So then Krishna says, well, no, presentation is important. Intention is not important. He called Narayana, that's important. What he was thinking in his mind is not important. So then we catch hold of Krishna and say, what is this? Sometimes you say intention is important, sometimes you say presentation. What about Indra? His intention also was not correct and his presentation also was not correct. His intention was to kill the Vrajavasis, and his action, presentation also was not correct. He actually sent the clouds of destruction. So what is in case of Indra? Why did you, why didn't you punish him? Then Krishna says, well, but he asked forgiveness, is it not? So then he is forgived. So that's how Krishna is. He's trying his best somehow or the other to deliver, somehow or the other to just reward his devotees. So why was Pūtanā given such a big destination? One other reason is that because she left her body not only in Krishna consciousness, she left her body in Vrindavan. And the fact to leave the body in Vrindavan is so special, because there are three kinds of Vrajavasis actually. One who are born in Vraja are Vrajavasis, one who live in Vraja are Vrajavasis, and one who die in Vraja also are Vrajavasis. So she's a Vrajavasi who died in Vrindavan Dham. So definitely she'll go to Goloka Vrindavan. There's no other destination if somebody has left their body in Shri Vrindavan Dham. And of course, when we hear this, some thought may come in our mind, oh really? Then what about us? We are not Vrajavasis because neither we are born in Vraja, neither we live in Vraja, and we don't know where we'll die. So what's about us? So there is hope. If we are conscious about Vrindavan, then also we are Vrajavasi. If Vrindavan is in our mind, then also we are Vrajavasis. If we are in consciousness of Vraja, we are always thinking about Vraja. Just like the Vrindavan Vasis, they're always conscious of Krishna. Their senses are not under their control. Their senses are almost all the time drawn towards Krishna. They're always, they don't tell their eyes to look at Krishna, but the eyes look at Krishna. The ears go away where the Krishna's flute is, unconsciously, without any direction from them. Similarly, if our senses and our consciousness is, towards Krishna and in Vrindavan Dham, then we are also Vrajavasis, if we are thinking about Vrindavan in our consciousness. So the other reason why Krishna delivered Pūtanā was also because she dressed like Mother Yashoda. She dressed like a mother. And Krishna is so happy because she has dressed or behaved in such a way that will make Krishna remember his pure devotee Mother Yashoda. So Krishna has rewarded her. And I thought that was also such a beautiful point, that if somehow or the other, by our behavior, by our words, by our thoughts, some way if we can remind Krishna of his pure devotee, then also Krishna will be merciful on us. And we can do that by chanting stutis. When we chant different stutis of different devotees like Bhishma and Kunti Devi and Nagapatnis and Dhruva and Indra Stuti and Chatuskumara Stuti and all the different Gajendra Stuti from Bhāgavatam, then Krishna will become so happy. Oh, he's reminding me of my dear devotee Bhishma. He's reminding me of Kunti Devi. So like that, when we chant those stutis, and if we can't do anything, at least if we say Srila Prabhupada ki jai, and we keep Prabhupada in our heart, then also Krishna will be so happy that he or she is reminding me of my pure devotee Srila Prabhupada. That's why I guess every time after every arti that we end, anywhere that we go, any temple program that we conclude or begin, we are always saying Srila Prabhupada ki jai. We are remembering him, and Krishna becomes so happy when we remind him of his pure devotee. So Pūtanā was Krishna conscious. The whole point is somehow or the other one has to remember Krishna. Narad Muni says elsewhere in the 7th canto that somehow remember Krishna. Yashoda Mata remembered Krishna with sneha, with love. And Shishupal, he remembered Krishna with anger. And Kamsa, he also remembered Krishna with bhaya. He was afraid of Krishna. And Kubja, she remembered Krishna out of lust. So it's okay, whether it's out of lust, anger, greed, whatever, but somehow or the other remember Krishna. If we can somehow keep Krishna in our remembrance, then Krishna will deliver us. So then finally, she's just running out and into the, this is also very special where it mentions that Krishna made such an arrangement that none of the Vrajavasis were destroyed, none of the jivas, none of the insects, plants, trees in Vraja got destroyed, because Putana ran as far as the borders of Gokul, and she collapsed in Kamsa's garden. So all the trees in Kamsa's garden got destroyed, but Vraja, nothing happened to Gokul. So finally, now she is, in her original form, and she spread her arms and legs and hair, and she's lying there, and she has a huge form of few kilometers. And here is explaining Sukadeva Goswami, saying that she was a nishachari, one who moves around in the night. When I was reading this, I'm just reminded, his Holiness Radha Govind Swami Maharaj, he explains very beautifully. He was telling in a very funny way. He was saying, in the olden days, only the ghost, the witches and the pishachis, they used to move around in the night. But now even people go and move around in the night. So the pishachis and the witch and the ghost, they are confused. Night is our time to move around the city, move around the place. How come the men and women are also moving around? Because nowadays they have the late night jobs and the late night parties. So they are confused. Why are they entering into our territory? So he was just elaborating that how, this staying awake in the night is so harmful for not only our spiritual consciousness, but also for health purpose also, how much it affects our physical health, because where everything there is a destined time, just like we have the software updates that we do in our phone in the night, because we know in the night we are not going to use our phone, so we just schedule those software updates in the phone in the night time only. Similarly, there are certain natural software updates of our body which Krishna has scheduled in the night, because he knows night time they won't use the body, it will be resting. But now against that, if we use our body in the night and we just moving around and we're not giving it rest, then all the natural mechanisms get disturbed, and ultimately we fall sick, and then we have to take so many medicines. So very wonderfully he was explaining that. So then finally Pūtanā is all lying down there, and here he explains that all the trees within the limit of 12 miles were all smashed, like they all became powder, and all the Vrajavasis, they are completely shocked. And when this whole thing happened, everything was moving in such a way, the Vrajavasis felt as if there was some earthquake or some kind of a thunderbolt or volcano. What has exactly happened? So much noise in all the different universes. That big noise was happening when Pūtanā fall finally on the ground. And then finally what happens, Pūtanā is dead, and Mother Yashoda and Rohini, they're unconscious. They have already fallen, because when they saw Pūtanā taking away Krishna. But meanwhile, what the gopis do is they just run behind Pūtanā, and finally they see little Krishna is safe, Pūtanā is dead, and little Krishna is playing on the top of Pūtanā's body. So they all climb up this hill of Pūtanā's body, the gopis, and they get Krishna from there. And then they do three things to Krishna. They almost all make him take bath with cow urine, and then they smear the dust which is raised by the hoofs of the cow on the body of Krishna, and then they put tilak for Krishna with cow dung, and then they wave the switch of the cow on Krishna. And these are all things to protect him, auspicious things. They do it for Krishna, and that way just purify, because he has been touched by a demoness. So here they say that Krishna is looking so beautiful, playing on the upper portion of the body of Pūtanā with his little legs. His little legs are beating Pūtanā's body. Now, I was just reminded of that verse. Kararavinde na padaravindam mukharavinde viniveshayantam vatasya patrasya puteshayanam balam mukundam manasa smarami. Kararavindena padaravindam. His hands are like lotus and his legs are like lotus, and so beautifully he's just beating the breast of Pūtanā with his little legs, and he's just playing unconsciously as if nothing has happened. So finally, after purifying and all, the gopis, they chant the Nyasa mantra and they do Achaman. And there's one very beautiful commentary to this, that not only the gopis did the Achaman, actually Krishna also did the Achaman. Because when we do Achaman, we actually do Achaman, Puna Achaman. We do 6 times, right? We just do Keshavaya Namah, we sip the water, Narayana Namah, Madhavaya Namah, and then finally we do Govindaya Namah and we throw the water, and then we again repeat it. So we do it 6 times. And the Brahmanas, especially when they eat food, the Bhojana Priya Brahmanas, they first do the Achaman and then they eat food. So Krishna also, now, henceforth, he's going to have a feast. He's going to kill so many demons. So before feast, he wants to do Achamana. So he did 6 times Achamana. What he did in Achaman, 6 things he has taken in. The 5 life airs from Pūtanā's body plus Pūtanā's milk, that comes to 6, because the 5 life airs, the Pranavayu and the Apanavayu, Samanavayu, Udanavayu, Vyayanavayu, all that 5 life airs he sucks plus milk. So by doing that 6 times, he also completed his Achaman, because now he's going to take a feast by killing all the demons. So finally the gopis, they do the Achaman and then they purify Krishna, and now starts actually Ashtakam. There are these 8 verses which start from text 22 onwards, which are describing the different names of Krishna which protect different parts of the body. O Krishna, Aja, please protect the legs. Maniman, please protect the knees. Yagna, please protect the thighs of Krishna. Oh Achyuta, please protect the upper part of the waist. So like that, there are Ashtakam, completely 8 verses explaining the different names of Krishna and how they protect different parts of the body. And I thought that was so beautiful. Krishna's name can protect Krishna. Definitely it can protect us. So that goes on for another 8 verses, and then comes the entry of Nanda Maharaj. So Nanda Maharaj is already back, and he's just wondering what's happening here. And first of all, he thinks, did I come to the wrong place? Because there was no hill before, and now I see there is a hill here. It's not a hill, actually it's Pūtanā's body. And then the other Vrajavasis, they come running to Nanda Maharaj and they tell him, this is what happened when you were not there. This demoness came and this happened and that happened, and he's just been hearing all these things, what's happening. And then finally they decide that now they have to burn burn Pūtanā's body, because if they don't burn the body and if they simply put some mud, then the body will decay. It will turn into humus, and then certain plants will come out, and if the cows are taken out for grazing and if they eat those plants, then they may fall sick, because Pūtanā's body is impure. So we know this story from the Puranas, how there were these 2 demons who were killed, and when they were killed, from their body came out a plant which is, you see this onion and garlic, and that's why they say we shouldn't be taking onion and garlic, because it's so inauspicious. Of course there are very many versions to it, but one of the versions is this. So like that, they didn't want that to happen, so they wanted to burn Pūtanā. But burning, how do you burn? She's 18 kilometers long and 6 kilometers wide and 3 kilometers height. So what they decided is cutting her body. So there were hundreds and thousands of axes, and they were all cutting her body into small pieces, and then taking it on one side, and they didn't want to touch it. They were touching the body with the stick, just like you eat those noodles with fork, you don't want to touch. So just taking like this and then putting it on the on the pyre and then burning them. So this is what was happening. And now something special happens. When her body is getting burnt, this nice smell coming out from her body. The agru incense smell is coming out. And elsewhere I was hearing I was reading that the smell of lavanga, the smell of elaichi, so many beautiful fragrances are coming out from her body. And this is really wonderful. How can this happen? Usually, forget about demoness. Usually people in this world also, even if they are pure vegetarian, when they sweat also, such a disgusting smell comes. And here is somebody who's been drinking the blood of little children, and her body is completely impure. But when it's burning, it's giving out such beautiful fragrance. So the Acharya says it's because she was touched by Krishna, because she left her body looking at the beautiful face of Krishna. Actually, such a great fortune. The sadhaka devotees, for whole their life, they have been praying to have this kind of death, where I'm just reminded of this Gujarati bhajan, Bhakti karata chute mara prana, Govinda evu mangu chu, rahe janama janama taro sath, Govinda evu mangu chu. Taru mukhadu manohar joya karu, रात दिवस भजन तारा गाया करू, रहे अमृत समय तारू ध्यान, गोविंद एवु मांगू छु. Devotee is asking, मांगू छु. I'm asking, oh my Lord, I should have that kind of a death, where I'm just looking at your Mukhudu Manohar, your beautiful face, and that is the way I'm leaving my body. Oh Govinda, this is what I'm asking from you. And Pūtanā gets it so easily. I mean, she's not a sadhaka, but here she is at the final exam, she is with Krishna, thinking about Krishna, looking at Krishna in Vrindavan Dham. So how did this happen? So of course, there is this past history that she was Ratnamala. It comes in Garga Samhita and Brahma Vaivarta Puran. Of course, there are two versions. Some say that Ratnamala was the daughter of Bali Maharaj, and elsewhere it is said that she was a sister of Bali Maharaj. And when the Vaman Leela happened, and when little Vamana came there, little Vamana, beautiful face, so sweet looking, and Ratnamala had a desire in her heart, oh, wish I had a son like this and I would feed him my milk, it would be so wonderful. And the very next moment when Vaman Dev takes away everything from Bali Maharaj, then Ratnamala is thinking in her mind, if I had a son like this, I would rather prefer to kill him. So now there is two contrary desires. She wanted to feed milk just a couple of minutes ago, and now she wanted to kill. So Krishna says, okay, tathastu, both your desire is fulfilled. But then why did she come as a witch? So there's another pastime in Mahabharata, how there was this lady called Charumati, and she was a wife of a Muni called Kakshivan. And once Kakshivan goes to Kashi for doing certain austerities, and meanwhile his wife gets attracted to another man, and she has illicit relation with him. So when Kakshivan comes back and he comes to know about it, he says, I curse you to become a witch. And then she falls down on Kakshivan's feet and is like, please forgive me, for that fraction of second I lost my sense and I made a mistake, but please don't give me such a high punishment. And then he says, okay, I can't take away my curse, but you will be delivered by Krishna. So she becomes a witch who feeds milk with poison to Krishna and gets delivered by Krishna. So it's not, whatever has happened, of course, there are two ways. One is definitely she was a good devotee in the form of Ratnamala, and she must have done so much austerity. And also it's Krishna's causeless mercy. We never know whom he wants to deliver, when, how, why. And suddenly he wants to give a lot of mercy to somebody. So this is what happens. So, and a nice smell is coming out from her body because Lord has touched her. See, people go to Ganga to get relieved of their sins. They think if I take bath in Ganga, I'll be purified. But that Ganga comes from the lotus feet of Krishna, and that feet is hitting Pūtanā's breast. So what to talk about Pūtanā? Definitely, she's completely purified. And one of the quality of Krishna, the 64 qualities given in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is Hata Ari Gati Dayaka. Hata Ari means enemy, and one who delivers his enemy also. That is one of the quality of Krishna. Even his enemies also Krishna delivers them. So finally they burn her body, and this smoke is coming out. And then there is another explanation where Sukadeva Goswami is discussing that, how merciful the Lord is. If somebody has come to kill him also, he is giving so much reward, then what to speak about somebody who is feeding milk to Krishna in Anukul Bhav, with love and affection. What reward will they get is what he's discussing. And that goes on for a few verses. And then finally, in the last verse, here it says, Krishna is the bestower of many benedictions, including liberation or oneness with the Brahman effulgence. For that personality of Godhead, the gopis always felt maternal love. So, here is one very important point. It says that don't think about the gopis to be ordinary people. Not that, after this life they had to ever come back after leaving their bodies, because they have served the Supreme Lord with so much affection, and definitely they were all delivered. So, anybody who approaches Krishna in whatever bhava, definitely they are all delivered. I'm just reminded of this one verse from Suradas. He says, एक लोहा पूजा में राखत, एक घर बधिर परो, सो दुविधा पारस नहीं जाने, सो दुविधा पारस नहीं जाने, कंचन करत खरो, प्रभु जी मोरे अवगुण चितना धरो, समदर्शी है नाम तुम्हारा, चाहो तो पार करो, प्रभु जी मोरे अवगुण चितना धरो. Very beautiful verse by Surdas. He says, एक लोहा पूजा में राखत. When the parasmani, the chintamani stone, it cannot differentiate between iron. The iron which is kept in the puja to break the coconut, or the iron which is kept in the slaughterhouse by the butcher to cut the meat. For the chintamani, the touchstone, both the iron are same. If you make the touchstone touch this iron or that iron, it will make kanchana karata kharo. It will change into 24 karat gold. That's it. It cannot differentiate. Similarly, anybody who approaches Krishna, no matter what is there in the mind, the fact that they've approached the Krishna is going to purify them. So very beautifully. And then he says, Prabhuji more avaguna chitana dharo. Oh Krishna, you are samadarshi. You are very popular for being equal towards everybody. So kindly ignore all my faults and please deliver me, says Surdas. It's very beautiful. The acharyas are saying that just like a little baby, sometimes when the mother changes the diaper or something, the baby's kicking on the mother's face, or sometimes the baby's urinating in the mother's lap, but the mother doesn't mind. Mother has the same affection. Similarly, the Lord is like that. Whether it is demons or anybody, for them all are children, and he shows the same affection. Even the demons want to kill Krishna and they're kicking Krishna, but Krishna is like that mother, trying to always give them protection. So finally, Nanda Maharaj reaches that place, and this burning of Pūtanā happens, and Nanda Maharaj immediately takes Krishna in his lap. And Nanda Maharaj is so liberal and so simple hearted. Immediately he starts donating so many things in his mind. He starts thinking, I'm going to donate this, because Narayan has protected my child, so I'll donate this to the Brahmanas. And I thought that was also a very beautiful point, because usually our culture, or rather what we do is, we tell Krishna, I'll give you this, I'll give that, I'll donate this, provided you do this for me. but and so that you do this. That's what they do with Balaji, at least here in South India. Do this, fix my daughter's marriage, do this, do that, and I'll put this much in the hundi. But here Nanda Maharaj is doing something else. Krishna is safe, everything is over and done. Now he wants to give charity, now he wants to give something. That's so special. Usually people promise before, but when everything is okay, they don't want to give. But here everything is okay, Nanda Maharaj still wants to give. And that's so beautiful. And then there's one more point where Nanda Maharaj is being very grateful to Vasudev. He looks like, Vasudev has done a good job. He saw this incident and he forewarned me, and he's being so grateful and thanking Vasudev from the core of his heart. And then comes the last verse, text number 44, the Falashruti. Sukadeva Goswami says that anybody who is hearing with faith and devotion this pastime of Krishna killing the Pūtanā, what happens to them? Govinde labhate ratim. The attraction towards Krishna, the attachment towards Krishna increases. And I thought this was so sweet, because that is what we want, that somehow or the other our attachment and attraction towards Krishna has to increase, and Krishna has to be in our smarana, because Krishna has laid out that condition only. He has not said that, at the end moment of life you have to chant my name or look at my picture, or he said smaran. I should be in your smaran, in your thought, in your thinking. I should be there. So if we want Krishna to be in our smaran, then we have to do lot of shravan. If we do lot of shravan, and then we do lot of kirtan, and then we do lot of manan, then Krishna will be in our smaran. If we are hearing about Krishna, talking about Krishna, then Krishna will be in our mind. And when we hear all these kathas more and more, and then, like for example, we heard that Pūtanā, when she was running with Krishna, and when she fall on the ground, such a big noise was made, as if there is some kind of a earthquake or some cyclone. So it's such a nice meditation. Now anytime when we see there is thunder or some kind of a natural calamity or something happening, some cyclone, then we can just meditate, maybe Pūtanā Leela is happening somewhere in some planet, and that's why we are seeing all these disturbances. So like that, everything we can somehow or the other relate to Krishna if we have heard enough about him. If we haven't heard anything about him, how will we remember him? The more we hear, the more he will be in our consciousness. And see, those who are liberated souls, anyway they are participating in Krishna's Leela directly. Somewhere in Goloka Vrindavan, some other planet, they must be participating. But conditioned souls like us, we can also participate in Krishna Leela by thinking about that Leela in our heart. So then in our heart, some Krishna is appearing. In some other devotee's heart, Krishna is killing Kamsa. And then in some other devotee's heart, Krishna is delivering Pūtanā. And in some other devotee's heart, Kaliya Leela is happening. So like that, when we remember these Leelas are actually getting manifested in our heart. And if we don't do that process, then something else will happen. If we don't hang these beautiful pictures of Krishna Leela in the wall of our heart, then Maya will hang her picture in wall of our heart. And then when we leave body, we'll be seeing those pictures of Maya in the wall of our heart. So better we just remove those pictures and hang these pictures. So when we are leaving the body, then we can see these beautiful Leelas in the, this beautiful paintings of Krishna in the wall of our heart. And Antakale, we remember Krishna and pass this final exam and go back home, back to Godhead. So with this, I end the class here. Thank you so much, dear devotees. It's such a pleasure to address all of you in that way. I have this opportunity to again and again immerse myself also in talking about Krishna and Krishna's pastimes. So thank you so much. I'll end it here. Shri Krishna Chandra Bhagavan ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So there are two questions. You said that first thing is how can we also have that same eagerness just like Parikshit Maharaj had in hearing the Krishna Katha? I think it's all of purity of heart. When we have too much of materialistic things on our plate, then we don't enjoy Krishna Katha so much. Just like many times I give this example that when our plate is full of dal and rice and sabji and so many things, then when the sweet rice is put, then we cannot enjoy the taste. When the plate is clean, then we really enjoy the sweetness of the sweet rice. So similarly, when we involve our senses in too much material consciousness and material activities, then we don't enjoy Krishna Katha so much. And that we can practically check for ourselves. Sometimes when we do our chanting and sadhana and reading and all, everything nicely, then every Katha sounds so melodious and touching to our heart. Sometimes we may assume that it is because of a certain speaker, but it's usually our state of mind which actually has the effect. When we are in right consciousness, then we relish the Katha. And how to be in the right consciousness is by doing proper sadhana bhakti. If we are chanting our rounds properly and we are taking only Krishna Prasad and we are associating with the right kind of devotees, then slowly our mind and our heart gets purified. And then, because the whole point is, where is the question of not enjoying the Katha or not being immersed? Krishna Katha is so nectarian. But if we are not able to relish the nectar, means there is some disease. Just like Prabhupada said that if you have jaundice, you cannot enjoy sugarcane juice. If the jaundice disease is over, then that same sugarcane juice will be so sweet. So when we don't find it nectarian and we don't find it sweet, means disease. Disease means medicine. Medicine means Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So the more we chant the Mahamantra, the more our heart will get purified and we'll start relishing Krishna Katha. Regarding getting up for Arati or Brahma Muhurta and then having a busy schedule, actually this is not something to be done only during the Damodar month. This is something which has to be done 365 days a year. And if we try to do something just for these 30 days, definitely the body will have some kind of a resistance, because your biological clock is made in such a way and the body is not used to getting up at that particular time in the morning. So definitely you will feel lethargy and tired feeling whole day. Why did I even get up in the morning? Instead of being active in Damodar month, I am feeling altogether lazy. So what we can do is slowly, to prepare for the Damodar month consciousness, you'll have to start it from the beginning of the year, instead of doing it only in the month of Damodar. From the beginning, if one makes an habit to get up a little early than the usual time and half an hour early and take and make a schedule in a proper way, then you don't find it difficult. But as of now, what to be done? This is something like when we are not prepared for the exam and then just 2 days before the exam, what to do? So then the teacher will say, now you can't read the whole textbook, so at least read the summary point, important point. But that's not the general instruction. But now the situation is like that. The study has not been done whole year, so now you just read some important point and pass the exam. So similarly, ideal thing would be to do it whole year. But now since it has not been done, it's becoming difficult to do now. And the ideal would be to slowly try to, sleep early in the night and then try to make little changes in the schedule. And if you are used to getting up at a particular time, try to get up a little, at least half an hour before, and then 15 minutes before, 20 minutes before, and slowly go about it, and that way make your body adapted to it. And the fact that you're feeling guilty whole day, there's nothing wrong about feeling guilty. Only thing is, after guilt there should be action. It should not simply remain at the stage of guilt. Otherwise it's not helping us in any way. Unnecessary, we just feel bad about it mentally, and whatever little bit that we are able to do, that also we will not do, and it'll be disastrous. So if the guilt feeling is followed up by some kind of an action where you're going to consciously make some change and improve your timetable, then it's good to have the healthy guilt. Otherwise we'll become completely careless and reckless about this whole process. So gradually it has to be done. Nothing was done in a day. Rome was not built in a day, they say. So slowly now whatever happened has happened. At least now whatever time you are getting up, try to get up 15 minutes early. And sometimes I feel certain steps we'll have to take one at a time. We can't make big leaps in spiritual life also, and for that matter in material life also. Whenever we try to do something new, we should do it slowly, step by step, and that will give us such a pleasure of actually achieving something. So if you're getting up at 6 o'clock every day, now you suddenly get up at 4 o'clock, it will be difficult. So you can just start by small achievements. Start with 5:30 and then you will feel so happy. 2 days, 3 days, congratulate yourself. Okay, I'm doing a good job. I'm already getting up half an hour earlier than what I used to, and then again another half an hour, and go step by step. That's one way of doing it. And the other way is that just get up and somehow take bath, and because you have to fulfill your Kartik vow of taking bath in Brahma Muhurta. So there are two ways to go about it, but I would prefer that you go slow about it and gradually make it such a way that you will follow it even after Kartik. It should not become like a burden. At the end of the 30th day, you are like, I'm done for it and I'm not going to do it anymore. It shouldn't happen like that. If you cultivate it in such a way that whole year round you will enjoy taking bath in Brahma Muhurta. I hope this helps you, Prabhu. I can't hear that. Okay. So you are saying that when there are reversals, we understand, but we are not able to be grateful. So that's all right. The fact that we are able to remember the Lord and we are able to have that basic understanding that whatever Krishna does is for my good, it's not practically possible to be grateful to Krishna for everything. I mean, let me make that very clear, because sometimes something really go wrong in your life, and how can you be grateful? Let's say somebody stole your diamond ring and you can't say thank you so much Krishna that person has stolen my ring. So you can't be grateful for every situation. You can be grateful amidst that situation. That means you can't directly thank Krishna that, oh thank you, my diamond ring is gone, but you can say, oh thank you Krishna, at least the thief did not cut my finger, he just took the ring. Okay, at least my chain was saved. Oh, at least this. So you cannot be grateful for situations, you can be grateful amidst that situation. So and you can start looking for things which are nice in your life, like in one of the classes I was explaining that in different situations you have to look up to Krishna, and you have to look around for other good things that are happening in your life. So you may not be directly grateful for that particular situation which Krishna has put you into, but you can be grateful for other things that Krishna has given you in your life. Oh, I have nice parents, and I have nice husband, and I have nice wife, and I have intelligence to understand, and I have this opportunity to take shelter of Bhagavatam, and I'm chanting, and I'm still taking prasadam. So like that you can be grateful for the other things. But sometimes it's not possible to be directly grateful to Krishna because you're literally able to see that that's not favorable for you, whatever has happened. So don't try to do that. It will not work out. How can, there's so many situations that happen in our life, and we cannot be grateful for those situations. We can be grateful amidst that situation. So that's it. So we just look for the good things and try to convince our mind and see a larger picture, and keep faith that the fact that you're able to understand that this is what is happening in your mind itself is such a big step. Now there are people who are completely under illusion, and at that point cursing Krishna and getting angry on Krishna. Why aren't you helping me? Why aren't you? But the fact that you are, deep from your heart, you're thinking, how come I'm unable to be grateful to Krishna itself is such a big step. I mean, such clear understanding that every situation I'm supposed to be grateful. Krishna is my well-wisher. At this moment I'm unable to be grateful with the kind of situation that I'm put in, and you are conscious about it, and the whole process is to be in consciousness of Krishna. So that's about it. You are conscious of Krishna every moment, and you are conscious of what's going on in your mind, and that itself is such a big step. The fact that you are doing introspection, and introspection if a devotee keeps doing introspection, they keep improving, and then our thinking gets better and better. So that's it. We just have to be grateful amidst the situation. Okay. Which language? Which language you want the class in? Okay. Yes, last few months there has not been much upload. Yeah. There are lots of classes which are unedited and lying in the hard disk, and I think in the month of November end or something, after the Kartik is over, we'll be uploading some more classes. Yes. Okay. What I understand. Okay. You're done, Prabhu, with your question? Okay. Okay. Okay, your question is that if it's true that Krishna doesn't care about what's our intention, or sometimes he doesn't care about what's our presentation, and if there's no so much importance to presentation and intention, then why can't we all be like Pūtanā and Kamsa and Shishupala, and we'll get delivered? Why somebody has to become a devotee then? So the fact is, we can actually become Kamsa, Shishupala and get delivered, but the problem is we are not even able to become proper Kamsa. Like you see in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, there is this pastime of Maharaj Vena. Even he was envious of Krishna. He was envious of the Lord. But the problem is, he was envious of the Lord, he was envious of the Brahmanas, he was envious of other people, he was envious of so many people. But the problem with Krishna is his monopoly god. If you are envious, be envious only of Krishna and nobody else. If you can do that, you will be delivered. If you love only Krishna, if you are angry only at Krishna, you cannot be angry at anybody else, only Krishna. See, the whole point is smaranam. To such an extent they were angry on Krishna, or envious of Krishna, or lusting behind Krishna, that except Krishna they didn't want anybody else, anything else. So that smaranam of Krishna is what has delivered them. Frankly speaking, forget about intentions, presentations or anything, the smaranam. So that intensity, so if we can bring that intensity even with our anarthas also, we can go back if that is directed only towards Krishna. But the problem with us is we'll have anger on Krishna and somebody else also and somebody else. We love Krishna also and then somebody else and then somebody else. So we have so many things in our life. But if it's monopoly, only Krishna, that intensity is there, then we can be delivered. Because Kamsa was constantly thinking about Krishna. Even a normal sadhaka devotee will not be thinking so much, that much Kamsa was always thinking while eating, sleeping, while talking to somebody also. Behind his mind is thinking about Krishna only. How will I kill him? How will I kill him? How? Shishupal, the first thing that he learned, as soon as he's out from his mother's womb as a baby, Krishna. People learn mother, but his first word was Krishna. And he was so envious of Krishna from that day one as a little baby. So I want to, I hate Krishna. So Krishna is continuously thinking about Krishna. So that kind of meditation, if we can do, then we can easily attract Krishna's mercy. Actually, in the Bhakti Rasa Amrit Sindhu also it is said that one should worship Ganesha before they do anything, so that he removes obstacles from our spiritual practice. That's what Rupa Goswami says in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And also, frankly, there is no objection. The only thing is, when Prabhupada was asked this question, Prabhupada said that my worry is that over a period of time they will replace Krishna with Ganesha. And that's where his objection was. Because even during those days, certain book distribution party was doing very well than the other party, and the other party came to know that they were worshipping Ganesha every day before they went for book distribution. So then they also wanted to worship Ganesha, and then there was this big controversy, and then the devotees wrote a letter to Srila Prabhupada that we want to worship Ganesh before we go for book distribution. And Prabhupada said, I don't mind, provided you give me, he mentioned a certain, now I'm not able to exactly recollect. He mentioned a certain amount. He said, if every month you can collect this much Lakshmi and send it to me, then I don't mind if you worship Ganesha before going for book distribution. And that was so huge amount that devotees thought it's better we don't worship Ganesha, and we can't give that much amount every month. So we are not against, they are all pure devotees of the Lord, and they are helping and assisting Lord, and they're part of the whole cosmic management, and they must be such wonderful devotees that Lord is sharing so much responsibility with them of taking care of this material world in certain facets and certain aspects. The whole point is, if we do it independently and we forget Krishna, then it is a problem. But if we are keeping them in connection with Krishna, just you said it, that we think it is Krishna's form or they are part and parcel of Krishna. Just like when we do namaskaram to Lord Shiva, then we think Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. Oh Lord Shiva, you are the greatest Vaishnava. You have so much bhakti for Krishna. Why you are constantly chanting Lord Rama's name. Please bless us that we also get bhakti towards Krishna. So there is nothing wrong in that. When we pray that way, there is nothing wrong. Lord Shiva becomes so happy. I'm just reminded of this one story. What is that name of that, somehow I'm not able to recollect. what is that? Recently I was reading about this one devotee who was a devotee of Durga Devi, and he was regularly giving her flowers as offering. And then one time by mistake, the flower which is offered to Krishna gets offered to her, and she becomes immediately happy, and she appears before him and she says, "Today I am very happy because you have given me prasadam of the Lord." And then this devotee understands, oh, for so many years I have been worshipping her, she never became happy, and today she gave the Mahaprasad flower of Krishna and she became so happy. And then he becomes a devotee of Krishna. And then he writes beautiful bhajans which were recited by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he was in Jagannath Puri. I don't know how come I am not able to recollect the name of that devotee. It's just on my tongue, but I am not getting it. I don't know if somebody... Chandidas, yeah, thank you so much, Chandidas, yeah. I just hope I told the story right, but this is what I'm able to recollect. Yeah, Chandidas, yeah. So it's like that. So if we think they're part and parcel of Krishna and they're assisting Krishna and we are grateful to them and we are asking them for Krishna Bhakti, there is nothing wrong. Okay. I could not get the last part. You said that I'm trying to do, but then there are some kind of obstacles. Did you say these obstacles mentally?
Yes, Mataji.
So if I understand your question, you were saying that though I'm doing it last 2-3 years, but then there are so many thoughts that come in my mind and there's some kind of obstacles that keep happening mentally inside my mind. Yeah, so it's natural, is it not? Because for so many millions of lifetime we have been away from the service of Krishna, and now we are slowly purifying ourselves, and definitely there will be so many things will come. Like many times I give this example that when a room is not clean for a long time and now you suddenly start cleaning the room, then you feel that because when the dust raises in the air when you're brooming it, the whole room becomes more messy, and somebody may feel I was better off before I even started cleaning because the dust was settled and there was no big disturbance. But when I started cleaning with the broom, all the more the dust is rising in the air, and why there's so many disturbances. But eventually the room will get cleaned. So that's a transition period, and that will happen. So it's a healthy sign that there's something going on in the mind and you're conscious about it. Otherwise, simply we'll do it like ritualistically, and physically we are doing it, but there's no contemplation happening in the mind. The fact that there's something happening in the mind means there's some kind of a thought process going on, and we are trying to, sincerely move forward. So it's okay, it will happen, and you can take more shelter of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam and hear more and read more and serve more, and over a period of time, it's a growth. Like just like children, they grow with the age and maturity increases. In Krishna consciousness also it's like that. The more the years pass and you withstand every situation and you deal with every flavor of devotee, different kinds of devotees and different situations in your life, and then you get more matured, and then you see how Krishna is planning your whole life and how things are happening, and you'll get more stronger. If there's nothing happening, then you can't get stronger. Something has to happen that will make us more stronger. If the tree is all the time getting simply water, no, there should be some breeze, and the tree has to become more stronger. So some or the other disturbances will happen, and then the fact that we overcome them and still continue our Krishna consciousness makes us a better devotee every single day. No, my voice is not clear. Mataji, I have given one class on this, Mataji. It would be nice if you would hear the whole thing. I think it's called, do you have salt in your chanting? Have you added salt in your chanting? That's what it means. That's what the title is. Yeah. If you can hear that class, lot of tips are given on how to improve the quality of chanting, what should be our mindset, and That will be very helpful for you. Instead of me trying to answer it in 2 lines, that will be nice. I think you have you added salt in your chanting or something like that is the title.